I had a wonderful few days exploring the best things to do in Zagreb, Croatia. I spent time sampling local dishes, visiting museums, and wandering the lively streets. With amazing architecture, walkable streets, and so many unique attractions, Zagreb is a must-visit European capital. Hey, welcome back to the channel. I've made it to Croatia, a new to me country, and my last stop on this month-long Europe trip. Most people, when they think of Croatia, they picture the coast and cities like Dubrovnik or Split, but I've come to the country's capital, Zagreb. Hey, this is future Rachel. I wanted to pop on here real quick and say that I do pronounce Zagreb wrong a few times at the beginning of this video, which is super embarrassing. My bad. I do eventually start saying it correctly, but I just wanted to clear that up. I'm really excited to spend a few days here and see all of the top sites. The main reason I chose to come here is because it was only 2 hours by bus from Ljubljana, Slovenia, which is where I was before this. So I figured, why not hop the border and go visit a new country and a new city. I'm really excited, even though the weather is pretty chilly and it's gonna be cloudy. I think most of the time I'm here, I'm gonna make the most of it, and I'm excited to explore. There's a lot of churches, museums, quirky things, and just a lot to see and eat here in Zagreb. So thank you for coming along with me. Today is also my birthday, which just feels really weird. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but as I get older, the weirder birthdays feel. Like, it doesn't really feel like a celebration, it just kind of feels like another day, but also I'm aging, and I don't know. I have complicated feelings, I guess, about birthdays. I guess a lot of people do, but it's my birthday. For a second, just think, like, how old do you think I just turned? I'm 30. 30. How am I 30? I don't know. It doesn't seem real or correct. A lot of people still mistake me as being like 18, which is insane. I don't know. I think it's just my personality, maybe because I'm so quiet. But no, I'm 30. Oh wow, saying that out loud is just so crazy. But this is the third time I've spent my birthday overseas, but it's the first time I've been by myself, which is kind of a bummer, spending your birthday alone. Normally, if I'm planning trips in like April, I try not to be gone on my birthday if it's gonna be a solo trip, because I don't want to be alone on my birthday, but it's just kind of how this trip ended up being, so it's not that big of a deal. I'll be home in like 3 days and we can celebrate my birthday with my family and have a great time. But in the meantime, I'm here. I'm probably not really gonna do much to celebrate, except that I did take like my birthday selfie earlier in the Airbnb, but besides that, maybe I'll get some sweet or something later. But anyway, let's go ahead and explore some of Zagreb. It's already like 5 o'clock, so I'm pretty much just gonna have dinner, and that's it for today's portion of the vlog. But tomorrow and the next day are gonna be pretty jam-packed with lots of Zagreb attractions. Right now I'm just sitting in this lively square, and there's a ton of people out despite the chill in the air. I'm just gonna put the name of the square on the screen, and that's probably gonna be how it is with most things here in Zagreb, just because Croatian has a lot of consonants that don't usually go together in English, a lot of accent marks. You know, I'm not good at pronouncing things in any language, so on the screen it'll go. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Lots of colorful buildings and people just enjoying having fun out in the town. For dinner, I ate at a restaurant that specializes in a certain Croatian dish. This restaurant serves made-to-order strukli, a Croatian dish made of layered pastry dough and a cottage cheese mixture. It comes in both savory and sweet varieties. For my dinner, I ordered the delicious truffle strukli and a local soda. I've seen a few different statues throughout town. I don't know if they're historic figures or what, but it's really cool. Also, look at all these cute little buildings enter here, and all these restaurants, all the people out and about. I love visiting new cities and like getting introduced to the culture and the vibe. I'm back at the Airbnb, and it's a good thing that dinner wasn't like super filling because I got some cake. 3 slices from a bakery because it's my birthday. Go big or go home. I won't eat it all tonight. I'm excited to try some of this cake. I know at least one of them is like a traditional Croatian cake. I don't know so much about the other ones, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm sure they're gonna taste good anyway. So I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my birthday. Probably try to call my parents and hope that they pick up for once. And I will see you tomorrow for my first full day here in Zagreb. Good morning. I've come up to this market today, but there's not a lot out. I don't know if it's just because it's so chilly or because it's Sunday, although you think it'd be busier on Sunday, but looks like it's mostly just fruit and vegetable right now. There was also a little flower market down the stairs from the food section. I got a couple of goodies from a bakery for breakfast, and I'm gonna eat them here in front of the Zagreb Cathedral, which is going under construction, restoration. It has been for a while, and there was an earthquake in 2020 that set it back even more. So I don't know when it's gonna be finished, but I'm sure it's gonna be amazing when it is finished. But for now, it's very full of scaffolding, and it is closed. You can't go inside. Interestingly, Zagreb is home to one of the world's shortest funiculars. It's only 217 feet up and only costs 66 cents to ride. It's been in operation since 1893, so it's definitely a unique piece of Zagreb history. You can also take the stairs, which is probably what I'm gonna do just so I can hurry up and get to this viewpoint up here. Whether you climb the stairs or ride the funicular, once you make it to the top, you are greeted with amazing views of Zagreb, and there are also a bunch of museums and churches up here to check out. Probably the most famous and iconic landmark in Zagreb is the Church of St. Mark because of its incredible roof, which is super colorful and intricate, really beautiful. Unfortunately, they have like the church and this whole square like blocked off right now, so you can't go inside, which is a bummer, but really from the outside it is amazing. Just down the street from the Church of St. Mark is the Stone Gate, which is an old medieval gate, and there's a chapel inside, and it's pretty cool in there. Zagreb has a lot of museums, and probably the most unique is the Museum of Broken Relationships. The museum holds a bunch of items that have sentimental value to broken relationships, and I've seen a lot of other people visit it on other vlogs when I was doing research for this trip, but I'm gonna skip it. But if you're interested in a unique museum experience, you can check it out when you're in Zagreb. I've circled back around to this tower at the very top of the funicular because every day at noon they fire a cannon from one of these windows up here, and I want to get a good viewing spot. Oh! Okay, wow, I knew it was gonna be loud, but it was loud this close to the tower, but that was really cool. Hopefully I got a good video because I definitely jumped. Okay, next up is the Zagreb City Museum. This fascinating museum walks visitors through the complete history of Zagreb. There is a huge collection of artifacts and memorabilia. These clips feature just a sliver of what there is to see. The entrance fee is €5 a person. behind the museum, there's a nice view of the city, and then if you keep going down a bunch of stairs, there's a vineyard on one side, and then further down there are some cute little cat houses. It's a little like cat sanctuary, and you can donate and they'll feed the cats. I got to pet a cat, so I'm happy. Now I'm walking down like this pretty notable street that has a bunch of restaurants and bars and stuff, and then I'm gonna go to a park. This is a pretty little park. There's a playground and a really long wall of cool, colorful murals. I think I'm just gonna sit here for a little bit, rest, recharge, and then probably go try to find somewhere for lunch. I had a delicious lunch at another Croatian restaurant. I got what was called the peasant's lunch, and it was stuffed cabbage with sausage and ham, all on a bed of like beans, and there were mashed potatoes. It was really hearty and filling and really tasty. I love this cat mural. It's so colorful in the street. Oh, it's so cute, and there's trees and all these different cats. I've come back to the Airbnb and I'm just gonna rest for like an hour, hour and a half, and then I'm gonna go back to the tower from earlier that shot the cannon, and I'm actually gonna go up it for some like golden hour, maybe sunset photos. I made it to the top of the observation tower, and it's so beautiful, and the light is gorgeous. Amazing views, 360-degree views. Awesome. These views are seriously amazing, and for only €3, you definitely have to add it to your Zagreb itinerary. I think I'm gonna go ahead and head down and call it a night. I will see you tomorrow for my last day in Zagreb and my last day in Europe. Hello from not only my last day here in Zagreb, but also my last full day in Europe. Tomorrow I finally fly home after almost a month abroad, and I am super excited to go home, but I always kind of, you know, miss Europe, the culture, the feeling, the vibe. If you haven't seen any of my videos before this one, I spent about 3 weeks in Italy checking off a lot of bucket list things and had an amazing time. It was seriously a dream. And then I also spent a few days in Slovenia, which was also really amazing. I went to Lake Bled and it was gorgeous. So if you haven't seen any of those videos, make sure you give them a watch. Subscribe as well to see all my future travels. Today the plan is to go to just one museum, and then I'm probably just gonna wander around and take photos, specifically a lot of stock photos. I do stock photography and sell them on Shutterstock. So I want to get a good amount of like stock photos for Zagreb, especially of all the museums, because Zagreb has a ton of really unique museums. I talked about the Museum of Broken Relationships yesterday, but there's also a Museum of Hangovers, a Cannabis Museum, a museum dedicated to the 80s, and then also just like more typical museums like a technology museum, art museums, a natural history museum. But yeah, a ton of museums here in Zagreb if you love going to museums. Oh, there's a chocolate museum too, so really all sorts of things for every type of interest. I have loved Zagreb. I definitely love the vibe of the city and all the different colorful murals and street art. There's also a lot of really delicious food. I definitely want to try some more Croatian, maybe today if I have the chance. Zagreb also has a ton of really interesting history, which is really cool. Basically, I'm just saying that if you plan on doing like a backpacking trip through Europe or just coming to Europe in general, you should definitely consider coming to Zagreb because there is so much to do. It's fairly cheap, or you know, cheaper than Italy at least. So much to do, so much to see, so much to eat. So I highly recommend Zagreb. Anyway, I'm gonna go see the cannon blast one more time and then go to a museum. I'll see you there. I just visited the Croatian Museum of Native Art. It's a really small museum, just a few rooms, but definitely some really cool pieces Tickets were $5.50. I wandered around and went to a bunch of souvenir shops because I needed to find a magnet for my magnet collection, and I'm always like really picky about which one I get. So that took a little while, but I did eventually find one. Croatia is known for their lavender, so all of the souvenir shops have a bunch of lavender products and they smell so good. Then I went to lunch at the same restaurant that I went to the first night here so I could have more of that Strukli or whatever it's called. I'll put the name of the dish on the screen, but I said that they have savory and sweet version, so this time I got a sweet version, and it was the walnut and honey, and it was also really good and tasty, but it comes out so hot you have to wait a while for it to cool down. I think I burnt my mouth a little, but it was worth it. It was so good. I think this is pretty much going to be the end of the vlog. I'm going to maybe go take some more photos, but then head back to the Airbnb so I can pack and get ready. I have to wake up at like 5 in the morning so I can get to the airport and stuff, so I'm gonna try to go to bed early, but I also slept in a little late today, so we'll see. Hopefully it all works out and I catch my flight home. But thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you haven't liked the video, make sure you do that. Subscribe, it's free and really helps me out, and I will see you next time. All right, bye.